But what it does, it reveals our mental conditioning. And with saying that, I think that I will take a step further that, don't make impulsive, permanent decisions over temporary fleet or over temporary feelings that will come and go, with time, with spending time alone and kind of breaking down your experience that you went through, right? Um, Everybody kind of handles it, you know, intense situations or confrontation a little bit different. But I think in order to kind of get to the root of the issue, you got to spend time alone. You got to be comfortable with spending some time alone and asking yourself the tough questions like, you know, why do I feel this way? How did I get here? How long have I harbored this type of feeling or sentiment about this issue and stuff like that? And when you're able to kind of sit with yourself and ask yourself those types of questions, right? First, before going to talk to somebody in counsel within your friend group or immediate circle to kind of get feedback and get a listening ear. I think it's important to do that first so you could make your first self-assessment and then have others kind of you know dialogue with you and kind of help you break it down. I think for the longest time we have always sold this idea like, express yourself, let your feelings out, and just and act on them. And that could be the worst advice, right? Because, at least for young men or at least for young people, they're still going through this cycle of understanding themselves, understanding why they have these type of feelings or why they're harboring certain ideas or impulsive, right? Some of it could be conditioned, some of it could be, a number of other factors behind the veil. But I think that, you know, having them take a moment to either write it down or spend some time alone or express it in a different type of medium for to help them kind of go through it is a much better vehicle versus, people kind of lashing out. And I think unfortunately in our society today, as we see things evolve, people tend to kind of lash out and let their feelings out before really thinking about the permanent decision they're about to make. So that's all I got.
All right. Go ahead, Shonda. You on mute just so you know.
Okay, I agree with everyone on the panel. I just kind of want to touch bases more so on. I believe communication is important as far as talking or speaking with those people that you feel have hurt you or made you feel these type of emotions because they could have, they could not have meant it that way. Sometimes we do get caught up in our own way of thinking or feelings. That's why, as well, I do agree that, like the other day, I was thinking I felt annoyed, and I kind of just didn't know why, and I had to kind of get down to where and ask myself, why are you feeling this way? So again, I do believe just spending time alone. I agree. As far as trying to understand why you're feeling those type of emotions, but again, communication is the key as well to speak with someone and kind of just verbally get that understanding of why, and maybe they can explain more so that they didn't mean it that way. So instead of getting caught up in your own feelings and emotions.
Okay. Go ahead, brother Hink.
Yeah, I'm glad feelings is not our reality because we'd be in way much more trouble than we are now as a people. Because if people act on their feelings, yeah, it'd be a bad thing. And unfortunately, like Balance said, there's a lot. You see a lot more ladies doing that. So hopefully, they have some balance in their life and they have that man in their life or that male role model or their fathers or whatever the case may be to instill some logic into maybe what that individual's thinking. Even if it's a young boy who just wasn't taught by his father or wasn't, influenced by a positive role model, male role model in his life. Uh, you can't and move and act off of feelings. You can't. You can't make all your decisions based off of your feelings. because you know, you may be feeling, oh, I can afford this, but logically, reality says no, you really can't. You're gonna be going from check to check to make a major purchase that's definitely not necessary, but you feel like you could do it. Why? Because you feel like, oh, you're gonna count on that bonus you plan on getting, that Christmas bonus you plan on getting. But what if it doesn't come? So now you're in a different state of mind with your feelings. So no, I'm glad, like the question said, or the statement said, feelings is not our reality. So,
is there ever a time where feelings do play a positive role? Not a positive role, but something that we can deem as valuable?
So I was literally going to speak to that, because like I was going to speak to both the negative and the positive. So for example, if you don't mind me using your example, Shonda, you said there was a day that you were annoyed, right? I know sometimes when I'm annoyed, I feel like everything's annoying, even if it's not. Like, I'm annoyed. That's a me thing. It's on me, right? But if I weren't self-aware enough to say, okay, you're being a nut today, you need to go relax and go sit with yourself and find your zen and realize that the world is not happening to you, you are happening to it. It kind of changes your frame. So like, your feelings can be positive if you honor them and you pay attention to what's going on, because like I said before, it's information, it's energy and motion. That's what emotions are. It's your body sometimes telling you you haven't had rest, you're overwhelmed, you're grieving and not taking time to grieve properly. Because yeah, there are lots more safe spaces for women to release our emotions and be emotional, and a lot less for men. I mean, these days more so than before, but even now, like, a lot of men don't get the opportunity to release their feelings, and that's why sometimes they walk around frustrated, and sometimes their reality is that no one cares about their feelings. You know what I mean? Because that feeling of not, that emotional constipation, I like to call it, all those pent up emotions will cause for a man to think that, you know, his feelings aren't valuable, they don't matter. And that's not the reality, right? Because everyone's feelings matter. So I think, you know, it could be positive if you tap into it and allow it to guide your passions, because like, our passions are guided by our feelings. Our feelings are our feelings of endearment, our feelings of whatever towards it, whatever it is that we're vested in, right? And if we use those things to kind of drive us to accomplish whatever it is that we want to accomplish, it could definitely be a positive thing. And then your intuition is a feeling, right? It's your gut feeling, right? So if you stay prayed up and you're discerning and you are, you know, in touch with yourself, then those feelings could guide you too, because there are more, I mean, I'm not going to get all crazy, but there are more things that you can't see than things that you can see. So sometimes God or the powers that be or whatever you believe in will tell you certain things that you need to know through your feelings. So that's when I think it can be positive.